like myself, when you make a name for yourself and become a public figure, people will attack your relationship with your significant other.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk a doubter, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Welcome to the MC Too Tall Show. I am your hardcore, fierce, and obviously sexy host, MC Too Tall. I'm a hip-hop legend. I'm a recording engineer. I'm an underground rock and roll hero that keeps it real in my Dolce & Gabbana frames. Also known as Keeper of the Chalice, Killer for real, and founding father figure of industrial rap, boom bap, and all of that. And what else am I known as? Patron saint of hip hop, final figure of authority. I would have changed it to final boss, but that's taken now. Fucking rock. Fuck you. I'm known as a lot of things, and I'm not shy on hiding my government name, which happens to be John A. Krantz. And I got business cards, so you know I'm important if I got business cards. I've shown you business cards in my last couple of videos. But anyway, let's move on to real life here. And real life is Justin Bieber. You guys revolve your lives around Justin Bieber, and I know you're concerned with his marriage. You think his marriage is falling apart, and it's making you sad, making some of you happy because you thought when he was up and coming, he was a punk kid that disrespected his own fans. And some of y'all out there hate him just because he's Canadian. That's not fair. Some Canadians are cool. I got a cousin that works for Fox News who's Canadian. He's cool. Well, Canadian descent. And Tom McDonald, he's cool, I think. Edge, Chris Jericho, they're pretty cool. I could go on and on. But anyway, some people are revolving their entire world around Justin Bieber and his marriage. And I could whoop out my phone, show you headlines. I'll bet you be one of the top 3 stories that pop up in my news feed if I just go to the Google main page or go to the MSN main page or whatever. However, this is a psyop because, like myself, when you make a name for yourself and become a public figure, people will attack your relationship with your significant other, whether it's a long-term relationship It could be somebody you've just started getting serious with and you're trying to get off the ground to lead it to marriage, or maybe you've tied the knot already. And I know what Justin Bieber and his wife are going through because I lived it and had to reinvent and revamp my whole life. And see, and this is why I make songs like the revamp. A lot of my songs, especially songs like the revamp, where I speak from the esoteric, but throw little drips and drabs of actual life events. Those are the most meaningful songs, and if you read between the lines and listen carefully, you might find these songs relatable to your own life. So yes, as much as I don't like to admit it, once upon a time I was married, and because of slander, propaganda, defamation of character, I have since been married, become not married anymore. I don't know the exact date of the dissolvement of my marriage, but legally, technically, on paper, I am a clean slate. I am single, free, and available. I don't have to get into certain things, but since it's important for you to know, my sex life is not null and void. It's not porn star status, but it's not exactly null and void either. It's healthy enough to say it's a healthy thing going on in my department there. Let's leave it at that. And without going into details, as much as you might get aroused from knowing, you don't have to know. You know? So Justin Bieber, who was in all sorts of controversies, it said that Diddy may have committed all kinds of pederast activities with him when he was a minor still, and that might have screwed his head up. I mean, he might have went through some serious Corey Feldman type shit. And it'd be interesting if Justin Bieber abandons his music career to become a full-time actor, because Corey Feldman gave up acting to become a full-time musician. And sidebar with the Corey Feldman thing, he would have been easy prey for Michael Jackson if the allegations about Michael Jackson were true. But Corey Feldman himself, who has no reason to lie about these things or cover up for Michael Jackson, said Michael Jackson never touched him. So, if he didn't touch him, it's quite possible Michael Jackson never touched any of these other people. I don't believe he did anymore. Admittedly, I did fall for it, but thankfully, while Michael Jackson was still alive, I was able to do my own research and say, well, these stories all have holes in it. The unfortunate thing is the Diddy Justin thing. I don't know enough to condemn P. Diddy for specifically Justin Bieber. Obviously, he beat up his girlfriend, and that's on video for all the world to see, and he can't walk away from that. He can't hide from that. But you know, the Justin Bieber thing, I gotta know more. I gotta know more in order to condemn Diddy or to dismiss the allegations about Diddy and Justin Bieber as some sort of hogwash or anything like that. I honestly don't know enough. It looks so far to be legit. So maybe that's screwing his head up and it's affecting their marriage. Maybe. Or maybe their marriage is just fine and the press is just making shit up. Just like my marriage was doing just fine until they got into the head of my ex-spouse, which, as it said, all things for a reason. All things for a reason, because when they achieved what they thought would ruin me, they actually accomplished a liberation of me from somebody that I didn't realize at the time during a marriage that I thought was fine was a rather tyrannical spouse. But I don't want to get into too much details with that because I like to keep my mucus from the Mucinex commercials looking ex-spouse out of these conversations. This isn't about me. This is about Justin Bieber and how full of shit the press is for making you believe there's trouble in their marriage and there's love on the rocks. Ain't no surprise. Just pour me a drink and I'll tell you some lies. Nothing to do, so you just sing the blues all the time. And that sort of happy horse shit. And so, what I'm going to do is conclude this episode of the MC Tutol Show, because when it comes to any sort of real story with bite, any sort of real story with teeth about Justin Bieber's marriage on the rocks, there's nothing to see here. It's more about slander and propaganda than the subject that the slander and propaganda are about. And the press loves doing that. Slander, propaganda, defamation of character. And then, your trailer park version of the press is your social media. And as I was up and coming, and as I was one of the most prominent artists featured on a website called Vampire Freaks, there was a social media side to that website at one time. Like there was the portion where you could order your clothes, you could order music on CD format, you could listen to artists because they would upload WAV and MP3 files onto the site, and I was one of those who had an artist site on Vampire Freaks, and I was pretty snappy popular. There were events that I put together that would be posted on that site. I was a pretty snappy popular guy there, and of course, you have some factions of the goth community that are very, very bitter. They are not cool. They just go into these things to make other people miserable. They get on these sites and make up these troll accounts just to be bitter, miserable pricks. And they began slandering my name, committing all types of defamation of character. And when I spoke in my defense, Sometimes I would even copy and paste what was said to me right back to them and just switch the names around. I'd get reported and suspended until finally I just shut my account down altogether and found every Vampire Freak sticker I could find and set them on fire. So, some of the people that were top brass of that website, including Jet himself, the founder, are still friends of mine on Facebook. So we're, happy-go-lucky Facebook friends. And I don't follow his posts, but if I look on there, I don't see the add friend option. I see, the indication there that we're already friends on Facebook. So that's cool. I could live with that. But this isn't about me. It's about what propaganda could do. It's what corrupt media could do. It's what miserable bastards that could pass a word around are capable of doing, depending on what words they choose to pass around. How will it flip? How will it turn into a game of telephone? Or will the narrative as it's originally spun go according to plan? See, these are things that these little punks in these hick towns that had Vampire Freaks accounts might have thought they were really good at, but they are definitely amateurs compared to mainstream press. And mainstream press is tearing down Justin Bieber and saying that he and his wife are not getting along and that they don't appear at these red carpet events because their marriage is on the rocks. I think they're full of shit. I truly think that they are full of shit. And I know this because there could be nothing wrong, and then the press will turn around and say that there's something wrong. And another thing, even if they were right about what they were printing, why don't they report on things that people should have more of an interest in? Why don't they report on things that actually do affect the lives and livelihoods of American citizens? Let's talk about how it's wrong for judges to harbor fugitives in their houses. Let's talk about how it's wrong to scoot a fugitive out the back door of a courthouse if you're a judge. Let's talk about if anybody is held for a crime at a police precinct, that it's wrong to not hold them until ICE shows up if that person happens to be an illegal immigrant, or what I like to call a trespasser. Illegal immigrants are trespassers. I'm not a trespasser. I was born here. This is my country. This land is our land. We won it from a war against Great Britain. So, on this land that we won, or that the founding forefathers had won in a war against Great Britain, this is our land. And so somebody coming in and just showing up without due process. Where was that's another thing. Where was that Garcia's due process of coming in and becoming an American citizen? You care about the due process of somebody that did not file for due process to become a citizen, made no effort to become a citizen and do it the proper way, the due process kind of way. And these are things that are relevant to the lives of Americans, not the life of Justin Bieber. Get out of here with that shit. It's like, I don't listen to his music. I don't root for him, but I am not hell-bent on his downfall either. I don't care either way about Justin Bieber. I don't hate him, but I'm not exactly in love with the freaking guy neither. And it's kind of shitty to interrupt his life like that. And this is coming from another public figure, me, who went through similar situations. I've went through a similar situation. And if and when, probably not until I'm in my 80s, when I get serious with somebody again, who will take me seriously and be with me for love and not money. It's going to be somebody who's not already known. It's going to be a private citizen. And the only thing you might hear once in a while is a first name or a happy birthday post when a birthday comes up, whoever that lucky lady may be. And that's it. Less you know about who I'm dating, who I marry, who I start a family with, the better. Because of shit like this. Because of shit like this. And that's all there is to it. And people need to learn to respect God, as I do. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati, because they're real, and watch out for them. Like, subscribe, tell all your friends about me, hit the bell notification icon there, and stay strong, keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, master of sound quality, keeper of the chalice, killer for real, founding father figure of industrial rap, boom bap, and all of that, MC Too Tall. Yaha.